Hello and welcome to Pearls of Parmadise. My name is Courtney and I'm coming to you from Parma, Ohio, where I live with my husband Mason and all of our yarn. Today is Friday, March 17th, and I worked today. So this is just sort of a different episode. I usually record on my Fridays off, but I worked this Friday. So here we are, you're getting After Work Courtney, and since this was already going to be a strange episode, I decided this would be a good time to have a guest on. So, as I said, this is my husband Mason. We will have been married 10 years next month, and he is here today to model his vest. So, as if you've been watching, which by the way, welcome. If you're a new viewer, thank you so much for watching. This is going to be a little bit of a different episode. And if you're a returning viewer, welcome back. Thanks so much for coming back. So anyways, if you're a returning viewer, you know probably that I've been working on another vest for my husband, and I thought it'd be fun to have him show you one of the previous vests I've made. So, you're allowed to talk, just so you know.
I don't normally do this.
Also, just to brag on him, he is like the king of the fades. Every time we go to a yarn store or like a show or whatever, he's always putting together fades, always putting together great color combos. So anyways.
Just how do you not?
I don't know. Anyways, and he pays for and carries all the yarn. So really, what more could we ask for? So he's wearing, well, we'll start with your hat. Which, this is turn your head so that the people can see. Also, it does this. This is that preview thing I've talked about where it just kind of like, see, it's so annoying. My camera like turns, anyway, it's a whole thing. Anyways, this is the Barley Hat by Tin Can Knits. And it's in some brown yarn that somebody gave me as a gift. I don't know the yarn. I'm not sure. Anyways, I have this on Ravelry. It'll be linked down below. That's where you can find my Ravelry, my Instagram, and my Pokemon Go friend code. I am most active on Instagram, but I haven't really been very active anywhere lately. So, yeah. All right. So anyways, that's your Barley Hat. And I think that was the first hat I actually knit for you. Not the one you stole from me. I think it's the first one I actually knit for you. Is that right?
That sounds about right.
Okay, I think so.
Yes, this was the first hat that he did make me.
And this is the second vest I knit for him. So, let's see. I was going to say, stand up for the people. Show the people. All right, so this is awkward to show. This is the other fun thing I do every time. We could back this up if you want to model this. We are not professionals here, in case you could not tell. Okay, so this is the Intertwined Cable Vest by EJ Slayton. Here, turn around. Show the back with all the cabling. Can you, like, get down a little more? There we go. We are so profesh. So it's got these beautiful cables that run down the back, and turn back around for the people. And it's got this textured pattern. It's not showing up really well on camera, and cables like on either side of the front panel. So anyways, this is the second vest that I knit for him. You can bring the camera back closer.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And angle it more that way. There we go. The second vest that I made for him, and this is in Ancient Arts Superwash Merino DK. I don't know if there's a fancy name for it, and I don't recall the colorway name. Do you remember?
Unfortunately, no.
Well,
we will figure that out.
Something green. I don't know. It's on Ravelry. I'll figure it out. And the buttons I ordered from somewhere also. Etsy, maybe?
I think you did get them from Etsy.
Etsy? Yeah. So anyways,
you remember all the things.
Yeah, I'm sure I have it all on my Ravelry page. I will try to link all that down below. And this pattern is out of a magazine. It's out of this one, which I've talked about before because the vest I'm currently knitting for him is in here. And so this is Knit Simple Winter 2016, and I believe you can still get it as a digital download. So yeah, and this is in the size medium. Usually you're a small, but the medium was the smallest they had in this, and I think it fits you pretty well.
Yes.
So, yeah. I'm wearing the Ranunculus. I've talked about this at length. And on here, I finished it last month. Can you hit that? And this is in Kelbourne Woolens Scout in the Moss Heather colorway in DK. So if you want to hear more about this, you can go check out my previous episodes where I've talked a lot about it. But yeah, we're both wearing our green for St. Patrick's Day. And yeah, do you have anything you want to say or about yarn or knitting or anything? Your life in Parmadise?
I mean, anytime I wear this vest, I get compliments on it all the time anytime we're out together in this thing. And it's like my favorite vest that out of the two that I have thus far.
Your favorite of two?
Yes. Hats, that's a different story. I like all five of my hats.
Okay, yeah, 5. I had to count for a second.
If we include the one that I stole.
We're including that. What about your cowl? And your homemade scarf at Christmas time?
That one's also a joy. But which cowl?
The one I knit you most recently. I knit him a cowl recently. It was not that recently. Kind of. I don't know.
It was my.
You can go back and look at it. Mm-hmm. I finished November's when I finished it, though. I think.
Yes,
right?
As my Christmas present.
Mm-hmm. And it's from the Star Wars Knitting the Galaxy book by Tanis Gray.
That sounds right.
Anyways, if you go back and look, I talk a lot about that too. I don't think it's within arm's reach.
It is not. It is over there.
So
I can go get it.
The people have seen it.
Okay.
The people have seen it.
Well then.
So, all right. Do you have anything else? Do you want to stick around, or are you heading out?
I'll head out.
Okay.
Hope you guys have a happy St. Patrick's Day, so I'll see you guys later.
Or if it goes up, probably the day after, but whatever.
Either way, enjoy your evening.
Okay. So anyways, and we can see Stellina, our mascot, in the background too. Yeah. So anyway, there's my husband, Mason. He did a great job. I just wanted to show off his vest, and normally he's not home when I podcast, so let's get a little more friendly here. Okay, there we go. All right, let's get into it. So today I have 3 finished objects. I have a new cast on that is barely cast on. I have 1 work in progress, a whip bingo update, and future plans, which it sounds like a lot, but I think this is going to be a short episode. I'm also a little concerned about losing my light here. We did have daylight savings time startup here in the US over last weekend, so we're all adjusting to the time change, moving our clocks an hour forward, which means it is lighter in the evenings, which is great, but I didn't give my weather report. It is pretty cloudy. It's been raining on and off all day. So I don't have as much light as I thought that I would. I had planned a podcast yesterday, and then that just got derailed. It did not happen. So we're just going to do our best and try and get this in before we lose light. So my first finished object, I pretty much got done recording last week and whipped out this hat. So this is a pattern by Marley Bird, and it is available for free on her website, marleybird.com. And this is the Game Day 2022 knit hat. So there's also a crochet version, and I forgot to mention that last time. So if you prefer crochet or you are a crocheter and you like this, there is a version for you. So let's talk about this. I liked the pattern a lot. I don't really like my colors, and I don't really like the yarn. So I used mostly Caron Simply Soft that I had left over from other projects. I used to knit with a lot of acrylic, and I've kind of gotten away from that, which is a neutral thing. It's not a bad thing, not a good thing. It's just, I just find that I prefer knitting with natural fibers. And the Caron Simply Soft used to, for a long time, it used to be my go-to. I really liked it. And then I knit with natural fibers, and now it feels squeaky and plasticky to me. Like, not exactly plasticky. It feels squeaky. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but it does to me. So there's nothing wrong with this hat. I just was, when I chose my yarn and my colors, I needed to choose from stash. I thought that the pink and this color were more similar when I'd originally picked them. Then I realized that they are now. Although I really like these two colors together, the orange and this like aqua. Yeah. I don't know. I wonder if I had just chosen different colors, if I would have been happier, if I had flipped this with the light brown. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not really sure. I enjoyed knitting it. I had a blast. It's a fun pattern. It did not take me very long, but they are not my colors. And, oh, well, I don't know. That's actually not bad. It's a little slouchy. I have not actually tried this on either. Okay, it's a little bit looser around the ribbing than I usually prefer my hats, but this is actually not bad. Okay. Anyways, well, scratch everything I was gonna say. I have not washed it or anything yet. I finished it and tossed it aside, and that was it. So anyways, I don't really have a whole lot more to say about it. It was a great pattern. She does recommend putting a pom-pom on top. I don't really like making pom-poms very much at all. I don't know. And I don't feel like this one particularly needs a pom-pom. I like the look of like the fur or faux fur or whatever pom-poms, but I just don't see it going great with this. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, but if you wanted to add a pom-pom, you totally could. So, yeah. Anyways, that is the Game Day 2022 knit version hat by Marley Bird. And like I said, it is a free pattern on marleybird.com, and it was a lot of fun to knit. So I would recommend making them. It's a really nice gender neutral pattern too. You can just change up your colors. So there's that. Finished object number one. Oh my goodness, it's going to be one of those. For those of you who don't know, I work at a public library in the customer service department. So I am talking all day long. Yeah, you guys are getting after work Courtney. She's very different from fresh Friday morning Courtney. This is just different. Okay, we're going to keep it rolling, because after work Courtney is also a tired Courtney. Okay. It's done. This is the Ripple Bralette by Jessie Maed Designs. And it is very difficult to show you. I'm not going to put it on. This is very difficult to show. There, you can kind of see. I had a blast knitting this. This is the most fun thing I have knit in a very long time. I knit it in about a month. It took me like 30 days to knit this. So I did crisscross the straps in the back, which is probably half of what's making this so difficult to show you. And the yarn is 3-ply fingering, which is not a base she carries anymore, by Laughing Cat Fibers. And the color is Salmon Run, which is a color she does still carry. And I just love it. It has a major, like, between the pattern and the yarn, it feels very, like, 70s to me. 70s era. Look how this came out on the straps, too. Like, I think that's just so much fun. I absolutely love it. A part of me wants to try to put this on over my sweater to show you, but I'm not going to do that because I think that would just not be good. But anyways, it's got a ton of ribbing, ton of stretch. If I knit this again, I think the only thing I would change would be to actually maybe go down a size, but knit it a little bit longer. I think for me and my build, that would fit me better. The ribbing has a ton of stretch, and I was very concerned that it wasn't going to stretch enough to fit me. I have a ton of room, and would actually like it to be just slightly tighter. So that's the only thing I think that I would change. Maybe. I don't even know. I really enjoyed this. It fits me really well. I will not be wearing just this out in public. But I think it'd be really cute just under a top with like a lower back or something where, you know, you would just have this little bit of strap peeking out, or just for around the house in the summer. But yeah, I could also see myself knitting a longer version as more of a camisole kind of thing. But yeah, I would highly recommend this pattern. I know several of you have said that you saw me knitting it and you've had it sitting around as well. I sat on this pattern. I had chosen this yarn and the pattern to go together. I sat on it for a really long time, and I really wish I hadn't. I loved knitting this. It was not scary. It was not hard. It was just pure joy. Every single stitch was pure joy. So if you are sitting on this pattern, go knit it. It's so much fun. If you think that you are too old or too whatever, you are not. This is fun. Like, even if you only wear it under your pajamas, like, it's such an enjoyable knit. It's just great. So, like, yeah, it's super fun. And if you really feel like this is not the knit for you, find, if you have a niece or whatever, like, even if you knit a super small size for like a 6-year-old or something as like a tank top, like, you know, a full-length tank top or something. It's so fun. So much fun to knit. Just go knit one. It's so much fun. Anyways, Ripple Bralette by Jessie Maed Designs. Yarn is by Laughing Cat Fibers. If you've never checked her yarn out, definitely go take a look. She has some really great stuff. All right. So finished object 2. Finished object number 3. I don't remember when the last time I showed this was. And if you follow me on Instagram, you may have seen, I think I posted last week, a little picture of me, of my progress on this. So it is done. Look how good this is. Oh, I love this piece so much. So this was the 2022 Turkey Trot Mystery Knit Along by Marley Bird. Unfortunately, right now you can't get this pattern. She has it locked in the vault. She'll probably reopen it up like in November around Thanksgiving where you can get it again. This was so much fun to knit. I had started it with the Mystery Knit Along, which takes place every year on Thanksgiving weekend. And I got maybe to here, like this kind of around in here somewhere. And then I put it down and to work on the stockings that I made for my nieces and nephew. And I never picked it up again until last week or the week before. I don't know if I talked about this on my last podcast or not. I may have, I may not have, I don't remember. 2 weeks seems like such a long time. But anyways, it is done. So I'm going to put it on. Actually, before I put it on, because I'm so proud of these floats. Look at those floats. Like, you can actually see the pattern, which is the mark of good floats. Like, this might be my best color work project I've done yet. So, that's the inside. Which also, all these floats mean extra warmth. So the yarn is Upcycled Alpaca by Knit Picks, and in the worsted weight. Yeah, the worsted weight. They have a sport weight version as well. And I don't remember. Oh, yes, I do remember some of the colors. I know that, the blue is Azul, which is just blue in Spanish. So the kind of almond color is Parchment, and the brown is Biscotti. Oh, I did remember all of them. Okay. And it's this delightfully cozy cowl. And honestly, if I wasn't wearing a sweater, I could probably even pull this over my shoulders if I wanted to. But it's so cozy, and I'm going to back up a bit so you can see. I love it. So you get the look of that triangular shawl kind of thing, but you're not going to have to fiddle with it. It's not going to fall off. It's just delightful. And it's big enough you can stick it over your head as like a little hood, which I also love. So yeah, this was a really fun pattern to knit as well. And it's knit on a size US 6 needle. And if you've been watching lately, I have not been able to find 4s and 6s for the life of me. And I don't know. My only stash edition this time was that I caved and bought some size 6 needles. But I also reclaimed my needles from this project, which is great. So anyways, not a lot more to say about this. It was just really a fun knit, and I love my colors. They're more muted than the colors I normally choose for things. Not colors I would typically gravitate towards, but I tried something different and I really liked it. I love how the color work came out. I think it has pretty good contrast for the most part. You can really see the pattern. I really love it. This and my Ripple Bralette were both washed and blocked. Actually, my husband washed and blocked them for me. So thank you, Mason. And I love it. I absolutely love it. So again, this was the 2022 Turkey Trot Mystery Knit Along by Marley Bird, and I don't believe the pattern is available at the moment, but keep your eyes out. So, right, that is that. Also, can we even with how drapey this yarn is? Like, it is so drapey. So drapey. I love it. Okay. So those are all my finished objects. And I thought I'd give you an update on my whip bingo because I have a bingo, which was very exciting. So if you've been following along, I'm participating in the Whip 9 2023 Bingo Challenge put on by Fangirl Fibers and Yarnaceous. And that's taking place over on Discord. So all you have to do is message Yarnaceous, and she's at Yarnaceous, YARN, oh boy, ACEOUS, that sounds good. All you have to do is message her, let her know you'd like to be added to the Discord group, which is just like a chat platform. It's what my husband and I use to text each other. I use it to text a lot of people. It is great, and you can have groups on there. Anyway, it's really fun. So that's where this is taking place. And basically there's different categories for each thing. I've talked about it before. And then you choose one of your whips to put in each category. And your middle one is a cast on a pattern you bought in 2022, which will come up later. So anyways, with finishing this, I have completed one row, one bingo, which is very exciting. So there we go. Just wanted to share an update on that with you. And let's go with a new cast on. So I decided to look back at some of the hand-dyed yarn that I bought when I first started buying hand-dyed yarn. And I wanted to know what the oldest skein that I hadn't cracked into that I bought was. So I used to buy a lot of it on Etsy. And so I scrolled all the way back and I started buying hand-dyed yarn in very early 2020. And I actually might have bought some in person, I believe, that I haven't used yet before, but I don't have a record of that. So anyways, I just scrolled back to, I think, April of 2020. And I realized before I really understood exactly what I was buying and what the purpose was, I just was like, oh, that's pretty. I don't know, whatever. So I bought like 50 gram skeins and stuff, not realizing that like there's not a lot you can do with 50 gram skein. That's not a lot of yarn. So this was one of those. And this is by Malabrigo. And it's, I think, like a super finito base. It's a super fine merino fingering in the color Chameleon. Look how pretty that is. So anyways, that's the one that was the furthest back that I hadn't touched yet. So I thought, okay, I am going to find something that I already have a pattern for that I can use, that I can use this for, that will take just a 50 gram skein. And so I cast on. Look at that. Can you tell what it is? No? I barely started this and I just cast it on. I didn't do a whole lot. That's okay. I just wanted another little cast on. So this might come as a surprise, but I decided to do another headband. Out of the same book, Knitting Vintage by Claire Montgomery. I just did her emerald turban. I just today posted the FO pictures over on Instagram. But I showed it and talked about it last podcast. So I thought, I need another headband. I need one that will just keep the hair out of my face, like in the summer. Something, not wearing it for warmth, wearing it for fashion. And I had looked and looked at the patterns that came up when I had searched in Ravelry through my library of things that took 50 grams. And this one came up and I thought, this is perfect. So this is the, hang on, let me double check. This is the Multicolored headband. And this book is split into a bunch of different eras. And I believe this is the 70s section or 60s. I think it's the 60s section. I don't know. But anyways, I'm thinking probably because the colors are making me think of 70s. I think it's the 60s section. But on Ravelry, they call it the Alice headband. I'm not sure why, but either way, whatever. It's this headband. And it's pretty simple. Should be an easy take-along project. Yeah, this is definitely, yes, 60s. 60s inspired. Anyways, and it has a lot of green in it, and we all know green is my color, so I decided to cast it on, and that's about as far as I got. I'm hoping to have that done for summer when the weather's a little warmer, and I just want something to sort of hold the hair back from my face that looks cute and is still a hand knit. So that's that, and that is living in a bag that my friend Amy made and gave to me. And of course it has flamingos on it, which is our Parmadise mascot. So there's that. Okay, let's go to the next whip. This is my only whip that's gotten a lot of love that has not been a finished object over the past couple of weeks. I've been pretty monogamous lately, which is not normal for me. I think I've gotten in this kind of groove where I've been finishing these whips and it feels so good. And I've just kind of been going with that. So it's my Vertices Unite, and it looks different this week, which every week I show it and it doesn't look any different, but this week it looks way different. So all of you who said it's just that first section, once you get through it, it's so much better. You all not only were right, but it didn't even take the whole first section. Once I got to the part where I started to decrease, it was so much better. So I can't even show it. It's so big. So this is section 1, and all of this is going to be knit in yarn from my Fangirl Fibers Disney 2022 Yarn Club of the Month. So I don't believe you can get any of these colors anymore, but I was in her yarn club last year and yeah, loved it. So the purpley pink here is Tale as Old as Time, inspired by Beauty and the Beast. The white, which is not really very white, actually. I'm trying to find where, yeah, it's on this end, I think. You can see there's other colors speckled into it. It's easier to see on this end. There's some blues and stuff. And that yarn is called Glitch, and that's inspired by Wreck-It Ralph. And then I started section 2. Yay. Finally. I'm so excited. I was getting so tired of knitting that first section. You all know I just could not do it anymore. And this one is also striped, but I like that this is high contrast and this one is very low contrast stripe. So the stripes that have the blue in it are Under the Sea, and that's inspired by The Little Mermaid. And the other one is, I think, Best Day Ever or something like that. Anyways, that one is Tangled inspired. And I have one more yarn that will go into this, and then the yarns all repeat at least one more time. So, except for the one that hasn't gone in, I think only goes in once. So there are 6 sections, and section 1 is the biggest. This is, oh, I didn't say, this is Vertices Unite by Stephen West. And I am knitting the large size. There's a large and a small size, which is probably the other reason this first section felt like forever. And it's this gigundo modular shawl, and I really want it done for camping season and just like chilly summer nights or chilly spring nights to have over my shoulders. Just, oh, so I'm hoping to get this done soon, but we'll see, because I am planning to cast on 3 sweaters this weekend. Yeah, you heard that right. 3 sweaters. So let's talk about that. Those are my future plans. It's just getting cloudier and cloudier, so we're gonna speed it up a bit. Future plans. I am planning to finish this podcast, and as soon as I finish, maybe not literally as soon, but this evening, I am going to, I don't know if it's actually this project bag or a different one. It's the other one. Okay, that one will be in a minute. This is another bag my friend Amy made and gave to me. I am going to finally, Tina, if you're watching, I'm finally doing it. I am finally going to do it. I am going to finally, she already knows. If you're watching, you already know what I'm going to say. Oh, do I not have a page with it printed on it? No, I don't. Okay. I don't know where the front page of this went. Oh, here we go. This isn't really giving anything away. I am finally going to cast on my Monstera Cardigan by Joji Locatelli as my St. Patrick's Day cast on. In case you're wondering, yes, I am Irish. And St. Patrick's Day is a big deal in my family. And the yarn I'm using is green and cables. And I feel like that just is very, very St. Patrick's Day-esque. So I am finally going to do it. I am finally going to cast this on. So as you can see, which it's just, this lighting is not good today. It's all over cable and it's hard to see with the lighting. But this is my little swatch. The color is not coming up super accurate, but it is like green and white. And the yarn is, oh, that is, I don't know what is happening with the lighting at the moment. Okay. Well, anyways, it shows up a lot better in person. The yarn is by Tina's Twisted Fibers, and she dyed this colorway up for me because I described to her the cardigan, exactly what I wanted, and she was like, oh yeah, I have a color for that. I'm gonna, So she dyed up the sweater quantity for me, and let me pull out her ball band so that you guys can see her logo. There you go. Okay, and this is 100% Superwash Merino fingering weight, and I don't remember. I want to say it's her ultra fingering base. Is that right, Tina? I think that's right. Anyways, you get 490 yards in a skein of this. So, and I think that's why I went back and forth on whether or not I really wanted to knit this cardigan in it, because it is a little bit of a thinner fingering. It doesn't have a lot of plump, which usually for cables you want some, plump. But I have sat on this for so long, and I love, it's so drapey, and I love the drape on it. And in person, like, they're just not showing up on camera today, but you can see the cables. You can totally see them. Again, they're just, the lighting is terrible is the problem today. But yeah, so I've sat on this for forever. I haven't been able to decide what to do. And I decided I need to just pick something. I need to knit it or not knit it. And I decided I'm just going to knit it. I'm going to cast it on. I am going to knit this. I'm going to love it because I love cables. I love cardigans. I love green. It's going to be great. It is going to be amazing. And I just need to do it. So I will be casting that on just as soon as I am done chatting with you. So that's sweater number 1. Sweater number 2, I have not put together a project bag for. It needs cast on at some point this weekend. You guys have heard all about it for a few weeks now. And I don't remember what it's called. I think it's called I Heart Rainbows. Is that right? By Tin Can Knits. Anyways, I have a little niece that is arriving in June. And my sister-in-law's baby shower is at the end of April. I just got the invitation this week, or last week, I don't know. I got it recently. I need to get that on the needles so that I can get it off the needles, and I will talk more about it next time, but that will get cast on at some point this weekend. I just need to wind up the yarn and everything. The third thing that will get cast on, which I guess technically isn't this weekend, but it's early next week, close enough, is, and I've talked about this before too, I'm actually following through on things. Aren't we proud? This is the Magnolia Lane cardigan by Crafts Everywhere. And if you noticed, that is my 2022 pattern that I bought that I'm going to cast on for Whit Bingo. And I'm a little unclear if we can mark off that space when we cast it on or if we need to finish it. I don't know. But Cozy Up Knits will be starting their spring cotton mal, which is basically you make whatever out of cotton as long as it's not a dishcloth or a cotton blend, and you can enter it. So this is going to be my entry, at least one of them. I'm hoping to get a couple of things done in cotton. I would really like some spring and summer knits. So anyways, Magnolia Lane cardigan, I am casting that on as my spring, spring equinox. Took me a second. Words are hard. Like I said, you're getting after work Courtney, not fresh Friday morning Courtney. I'm hoping to get that cast on. First day of spring is my spring equinox cast on. And I also need to take needle attendance for this project too. What I really probably need to do is just bite the bullet and buy a set of interchangeables for sweater knitting. I don't know if that's going to happen or not. We'll see. I don't know. Anyways, I'm going to use We Are Knitters, the cotton. It's 100% Peruvian Pima cotton, and this is the colorway Terracotta. It is not as bright as it shows up on camera. It's showing up red. It's really more of like a rich rust color. And I bought this in a D-stash that Mega from the Skeins of Dreams podcast on YouTube was doing. So I got a ton of this from her, and I knew this was exactly what I wanted to knit this in. This is the yarn and the colorway and the sample of this cardigan, and so I'm very excited to start that. And speaking of Skeins of Dreams and Cozy Up Knits, if you are unfamiliar with either of those podcasts, go check them out. Those are two of my favorites. And it's been a while since I've talked about podcasts. I also love the Best Day Ever Crafting podcast. Trish over there, she's great. I love watching hers. I just watched her latest episode the other day. Watch those for sure. And Marley just started her podcast up, but it's a new format and I haven't watched it yet, but go check her out. I don't know, there are so many great ones. But yeah, I think that is all I have for you all today. I know this was a little bit of a shorter episode, a little bit of a kind of funky, different episode. My husband went upstairs, otherwise I would have him say bye with me, but that's okay. I don't know what he's doing. But anyways, thank you all for joining me. If you would like, I would love it if you would give this a thumbs up. If you would leave a comment, I'd love to know what you're working on, or just whatever. If you just want to say hi, I love interacting with you guys. It's so much fun. And that helps other people find my videos and find our little Parmadise community over here. So that's all I have for you all today. Thank you again. Thank you so much for being here. And I hope that you all find a little bit of time to craft in your corner of paradise. And I will be over here knitting away in my little corner of Parmadise. Thanks, everyone. Bye.